You're listening to The Pod, the official podcast of Whatcom Orcas Athletics.
Welcome to The Pod, and today we're joined by women's volleyball coach Cody Luthy. Cody, how's it going today, and your thoughts overall on community college volleyball in Washington?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I love Northwest Athletic Conference sports, and I love NWAC volleyball and Whatcom athletics. So I'm really excited to be here and be doing this podcast and kind of advocating and leading the charge for showing what NWAC sports are really about and demonstrating that. So thanks for having me.
Of course, it's great to have you. That's a great segue, Cody, because going into the season, how does the team look? How do you feel about things?
I feel good. It's always a big question mark with a 2-year program. You have a lot of new faces every year, and you have to kind of re-identify. So it's just months of finding who we are. But I like what I'm seeing. I think we're pretty physical. We're more physical than we've been in years past. We got some height, so I'm excited to see that, and seeing a lot of improvement from our 7 freshmen. So I feel good about it. I feel good so far.
How has the culture been with, as you mentioned, you have 7 freshmen, the rest sophomores. So how does that relationship look early into the season?
Yeah, I heard you say the buzzword culture.
Yes.
Anyone who's been through our program would just laugh that that's already come up in this podcast, because we talk about culture every single day. We talk about it so much because at the end of the day, that's who we are. And it's been pretty cool to see our 4 sophomores, our 4 returners really kind of lead that and show the new girls what it means to work hard, what it means to be a good teammate, and what it means to advocate for Whatcom volleyball. So our culture is strong. Our culture is incredibly strong. And that's hopefully something that these new girls will carry on to the team next year as well.
With the culture, then, do you put a lot of emphasis when you recruit players? Do you look for ones that you feel like they could have a lot of buy-in to what you're trying to do? Yeah,
we look for the intangibles a lot. We recruit with a person just as much as we recruit the athletic ability. So we're looking to people who show a great growth mindset, who show positivity, communication skills on and off the court, even just how they interact with us during the recruiting process. You know, how are they emailing us? How are they getting back to us? All of that's really important to who we bring into the team.
With your recruiting process, are there areas you like to go to, or do you have bird dogs that will help refer you players?
Yeah. Yes, we want to expand a little bit more. So we're looking to bring a little bit more international athletes into our rosters. I would say yes, we do want to expand where we're getting our roster from. We like to keep a third locally. So we like to really represent Whatcom County because we've got some great high school and club programs here in the county, but then we want to see a third from somewhere else in the state and a third around the country or even internationally as well.
Currently, what areas are represented on your roster?
Yeah, we've got Linden, Washington, we've got Oak Harbor. That's about as close as they get. And then we have other girls from all around the state. We've got a girl from San Diego, we've got a girl from Arizona, and we have a girl from Okinawa, Japan even. So we're pretty diverse. We're all over the place.
Let's touch on, you had mentioned advocating for Whatcom volleyball. What's that look like to you?
We want to have a presence both in our volleyball community and on our college campus. So we have girls, stationed in everything that is in our corner. So if there's an event happening on campus, we want to be represented there. The girls want to show up and show out for our program, and if there's something happening in the community, we want to bring that into our campus. So whether that's hosting youth tournaments, whether that's hosting like adult league games, getting people seeing what we do here is a big mission for us.
For new prospective recruits, what do you tell them to sell them on Whatcom?
Well, our competitive advantage, you could really look at Bellingham, you could really look at the school, the academic support you get. There's a lot of strengths that just come with the institution and the location of the institution. But once they're in the gym, Once they meet the team, meet the coaches, I think our biggest competitive advantage is our culture. It's how we treat each other, the experience that provides, because they're just so supportive of one another, every single one of those athletes. It's tangible when you see them play, and the amount of joy that they play with, and the amount of competitive spirit they bring to practice every single day. Once a recruit's in the gym and they see that, I don't have to do any selling. I think that just kind of sells itself.
Yeah, it's helpful with, I think Bellingham's a pretty desirable place to live, and a really nice campus for those of you that have not been here before. For prospective recruits, if they're interested, hopefully after hearing this podcast even, what steps could they take?
Yeah, all my contact information is on our website on whatcom.edu. Just go to the athletic page there. You can also look us up on Instagram at WCC Volleyball. We're pretty active there as well, so they can follow along there. They're more than welcome to slide up on any stories or hit us up on there, and we have coaches actively in that Instagram. So it's a great opportunity to get an instant connection with us and put themselves, ahead of the pack for sure.
In the intro, you talked about the NWAC, of course, the Northwest Athletic Conference, and the North Region, which, I don't know, some people would argue that it's one of the top regions in the NWAC. Who's going to be your biggest competition, do you feel like?
Yeah, the North Region's loaded in volleyball. It's a gauntlet. We talk all the time about our preseason. We try to play as many ranked opponents as we can because we know as soon as we get into region play, it's just ridiculously tough every single day. So that's always going to be competitive, and we like that. We're really glad that we have teams like Bellevue and Skagit Valley and Edmonds, and just a constant slew, everyone really, a constant slew of competition headed our way, because that's what we want to do. We want to compete. So
for volleyball wise, your biggest rivals, is it the geographic rival of Skagit, or are there some sleepers that have built up a rivalry?
Yeah, I would say Skagit Valley has a lot of relationship to us. We know the same people. I love what Joe's doing with that program, and I'm really excited to work with him, against him, or with him all the time. But that is always a game that just seems to have a lot of passion involved. The whole community will show up to see what happens when Whatcom faces Skagit, because most people have friends on each side of the net. So that's a pretty spirited game for sure.
Cody, in talking with you, I can tell that you really love the sport of volleyball, and you love becoming an extension of the classroom as an educator. What's your coaching journey so head Whatcom coach, what was your journey to reach that point? Yeah,
my journey with coaching is interesting because I started coaching when I was 14 years old. I was a soccer player growing up, and my dad coached everything. So I just watched him coach, and I just thought there was so much reward from being involved as a coach, even more so than from being involved as an athlete at a young age. So I started coaching at 14, and I came up to Western Washington University. That's how I got to Bellingham, and played volleyball on the club team there, and started coaching at a local club. Started working my way up there, was an assistant director. Also started helping coach the club teams that I was playing on. And then, was a director at Apex Northwest Volleyball Club on the board of directors there for several years when I got hired here. And then got hired here in 2018, and haven't looked back since.
So 2018 to 2024, that's a really good tenure. How do you build each year?
Yeah, you're making me sound old with that. Luckily, I am thankful to have the experience now. I would say it's pretty easy to build in a job that requires so much of you. To be a head coach, you have to be a teacher, and you have to be a leader, and you have to be good at running a budget and a marketer, and everything in between. So I have found that there's infinite avenues in which I can grow. I'm really thankful for podcasts such as this one, where I can, hear from other people who are really talented at what they do. I know there's a lot of volleyball specific podcasts out there as well that just like really hone in on what it means to teach motor skills, what it means to run a team culture, things like that. So that's what I do for fun. I learn for fun. That's where I spend most of my time.
Do you have a coaching mentor, either in volleyball, or you mentioned soccer, or anywhere in the coaching space that you kind of look up to?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little cliche, but I would say my dad has always been a coaching mentor. Like, I got my first coaching job coaching under him, and he's just always been a support for me in the athletics realm. So he's definitely a huge mentor for me.
Volleyball's experiencing, I feel like, a surge in popularity, coming off an Olympic year, and college volleyball has gotten really successful with the TV packages and things. But for the Whatcom student, why should they come out to a game?
I mean, our home games are electric. We have a great facility that allows our fans to totally surround the court. You know, we got people on both sides of us, and we're really thankful for the energy people bring. There's a lot of suspense that happens in volleyball. You know, just can you keep that ball in the air? Can you slam it down? It's pretty exciting. You know, it's a series of sprints. So if you like that energy, it's all about momentum, bringing energy, loud, aggressive play, then, I mean, there's nothing more energetic than a volleyball game.
And the tactical nuances that a lot of people maybe will simplify volleyball as far as just the rallies, but what goes on tactically, like your sets and some of your formations, really cool to see.
Yeah, I wish I could spend more time explaining to people what we're thinking. You know what I mean? I wish I could get more people to understand the conversations we have in our timeouts, because it is an incredibly strategic sport. It's so much more than just try to keep the ball in the air, but you know, what kind of offense are we going to run to give us the best opportunity to put that ball down, or, you know, where are we going to position ourselves to defend against another team? Yeah, it's pretty intense for sure.
Cody, before we go, is there anything that you wanted to touch on that I didn't ask about, or anything else you want to build on?
I think I would just bring it back to what I said at the beginning, you know, that, you know, NWAC's athletics, and specifically Whatcom athletics, is a really special place to be, and I really would love to see more people know about it. So if you've never been to an NWAC sporting event, a Northwest Athletic Conference sporting event, whether that's volleyball, I would suggest come to a volleyball game. But if you haven't been to anything, go out and see it, because there's a lot of talent just at your local JUCO community college. You know, go look at the game schedule, see what they're doing, because you could find a really exciting place to spend your evenings.
All right, so for Cody Luthy, this is Merrick Parnell, and you've been listening to The Pod.
You're listening to The Pod, the official podcast of Whatcom Orcas Athletics.